the next one that I wanted to bring up was a question / comment from Luca in Italy. Now, Luca's asking, and I think this one, there's ways to answer this for all the three of you. So any of you, please feel free to chime in, Salim, you as well. Why do you think people will buy virtual land on Metablox when they can also store pictures and comments in their memories tied to a specific location in Google? Now, we addressed kind of the Google versus thing earlier, but why would, and then there's a comment he made there, buy land in Metablox. I thought that would be interesting for you to look at, because it sort of works that way, but it also sort of doesn't. So go ahead. Why do you think people would buy virtual land in Metablox?
That's a good question. When you buy something, you believe it has value, and you believe it's going to go up in value. And so the question is, why do we believe, or what are we designing so that your investment, when you invest into Metablox, how does the person know that it's going to increase in value over the long term? I think that's really the crux of it. And so the way we look at this is two aspects of it. One is scarcity creates value, and the meaning creates long-term value and sustainability for the ecosystem. So scarcity we already covered. We are forced scarcity because we're tied to real-world locations, and forced fungibility. Not non-fungibility, because it's a location and it has an address and it's tied to a country, a city, etc. Okay, so that aspect we've already covered. So now is, how does this have long-term meaning? And how do we get your investment to continue elevating in value, increasing in value? So the way we've designed it is through the concept of those memories. We believe those memories are going to add long-lasting value to those locations and the things that have happened to there. And then the second aspect of that, which is what Yu-kai alluded to, but we didn't dive deeply into, is we want to tie the real world to the metaverse. So as an example, if I own this location, I'm currently in Orange County. If I own this location in Orange County, in the future, if somebody wants, let's say a company wants to do something where if you're in this location, you go on to Metablox and you can see something in augmented reality, or you can now get a drop of an NFT, or get if you play Fortnite, you can get a certain skin because you're in this location. We want to be that platform that enables that bridge between the physical world and the virtual world. So this is still, of course, very early, but if we can be the most legitimate metaverse out there, let's say you go to the Golden Gate Bridge, and if you go to the Golden Gate Bridge and you run the marathon, Nike is going to give you a virtual shoe that you can now put on your avatar. By being that legitimate virtual world, we believe now you have long-lasting value and you have power. Like if you own the Golden Gate Bridge, then potentially Nike could pay you in order to be able to drop that to anybody that's running on the San Francisco Marathon or whatever it may be. So that's the vision and the entire vision of what we're building towards. And so I think that's what users are asking, right? Like, why should we buy Metablox instead of Decentraland or Sandbox? And you have to ask yourself, which one is going to be around 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now? And which one is going to have that long-lasting value?
Yeah, and
or long-lasting utility, right? Yeah. So, Yu-kai, sorry to interrupt you. Yeah,
and the comparison to Google Photos or Google Maps is the same thing at Google Photos, right? The same, like these photos are on Google Maps, and same thing. It's on a single fill point. Google Maps can decide to throw it away anytime they want. So it really is falling to the same problem we want to originally solve. Plus, most Google Map photos are reviewing the location as opposed to your memories there. It's usually, this restaurant's cool, look at their bowl of rice, as opposed to look how much fun my family and I are having here. And now they're grown up. This is when they're 5 years ago. Now it's 5 years later. In fact, case in point, one of the people who was inspired by what we're doing joined our team, Joseph Graves. He actually is a top Google Maps reviewer contributor. He has, I forgot, like tens of millions of views for his reviews and whatnot on Google Maps, and he still found and maybe because of that, he found our project even more compelling.
There's a guy, Yu-kai, who does these amazing things where you show him a picture and he finds it on Google Maps. He might be a fun person for you to talk to. It's a whole YouTube thing. These videos are really intriguing to see how he does this. It's incredible. you know, we just had 3 physicists win the Nobel Prize for proving effectively that the universe is not real. And we're being asked today if the metaverse is real. But we're also running out of time. So I don't know. Maybe this is something we can get together another time. I have to get a plug in for you guys. You've made a lovely offer to our community. And first of all, thank you for that. You've